Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Steve Kane. Today we're going to talk about how profits are, and how ultimately we take our revenue, and if we lower our variable cost and we can lower our fixed cost, we can ultimately have a bigger profit. So let's go to Panama City Beach and join two songwriters as they discuss their endeavor in writing a song and their fixed cost and variable cost and how they're going to ultimately raise their profit. You know what? Before we get going too far, we got to think about a little managerial accounting first. Because you want to make money, right? Did you know that is so important in today's world, in the business world, managerial accounting? If you want to make money, that's the fundamental basis of how people figure it out. So let's think a little bit real quick before we get into it. Now there's two main things that I want to cover. All right? Fixed cost and variable cost. Those are the two big things. But we'll get there in a minute. So let's figure out. We're going to write a 3-minute song, right? Okay. So how long did you take to get here?
About 8.5 hours.
8.5 hours to get here, and I took about 6.5. So what are we looking at? That's about 15 hours then, right? So we got 15 hours of equity involved. That's a fixed cost. We cannot change that, right? Right?
Right.
And how much money do you want to make an hour?
Like $50.
$50 an hour? So that's $750 that we've got to pull off just to break even, just for the time here, let alone selling them, right? And that's a fixed cost. That's not going to change. That's fixed. Not broken. Fixed. Not variable. So, I said variable cost. Now, check this out. That's every time if we print this thing and we make a CD, for every CD we've got to buy a blank CD. So, for the more we sell, the more our variable costs go up. I don't like that scenario, because we want to make some money, right? And here's what happens, is if we keep our variable costs low, by not printing CDs, we'll just upload them on the internet. So we take all of our revenue, right? Because we want to boil it down to profit. So first what we got to do is we take all of our revenue, and then once we subtract our variable cost, we're left with a contribution margin. And you know what that is, right? You don't know what a contribution margin is? That's where our profit is. Inside that contribution margin, that's how we have to pay all of our fixed cost. And then our profit. So basically, you take all of your revenue, you pay off your variable cost. For us, that's nothing. So then, we're left with our contribution margin, and that's what takes care of all of our fixed costs and then our profit. And that's what we want, is a high profit, right? So if we lower our fixed cost, we're essentially getting more profit. You want to make a little more profit? How can we lower our fixed cost? How fast were you driving?
The speed limit.
The speed limit. Getting good gas mileage. So if you went really fast, we would lower our gas mileage. It would cost us even more. So if you started drafting behind an 18-wheeler and raising your gas mileage, we could save our money, and that would lower our fixed cost, giving us a bigger contribution giving us more profit, because our contribution margin still stays the same because we have no variable cost. You got it? Mm-hmm. Sweet. All right, well, let's write this song then. 3, 4. Managerial accounting. I like my profit, and it hides inside a contribution margin. Contribution margin. Yes, my profit hides in the contribution margin. That's why we pay off all our fixed costs low as possible, having high profit. Oh yeah. But that only works if your variable costs are low. Hold it. That's going to be a weird song to sell. Alright, so let's work on it some more.